is Susan. She just graduated from university, and after a last low-budget adventure travel, she's now starting her first job. And with her first few salaries, suddenly all those questions pop up. Do I need to organize anything financially? What about insurances? Is it too early to think about retirement? What should I do with my money? Maybe you are in a similar situation, so here are 3 important financial questions to ask yourself when you're starting at a new career, or whatever stage you're in when you're watching this video. The first question is my income secured? Now, you starting your first job officially makes you a grown-up. That means you are now fully responsible for yourself. Your income provides for your livelihood, for your shelter, for your food, for your clothes. And it is an absolutely legitimate question to ask yourself, what if something happens to me? And I know this is not a pleasant thing to think about. And in the majority of cases, everything will be fine. But for those rare cases something happens, we need insurances. And here I mean especially the ones that cover situations where our livelihood is on the line. And I think of a bare minimum of 3 insurances. That is health, liability, and disability. Health insurance. Medical bills are very expensive, especially when it involves the hospital. And I know that not just because I work as a doctor myself. And the tricky thing with health is you can only go to work and provide for yourself when you're healthy. So then falling ill without insurance hurts you twice. You cannot earn money while at the same time you have to pay high bills. So it's essential to have health insurance. The second one is liability insurance, or also called third-party insurance. That is for situations where you directly or indirectly hurt someone or something and you are liable. And this can be small things like you accidentally breaking your friend's porcelain. This can also be big things like your washing machine causing a huge damage for the flat beneath you. And the costs for those liability incidents can go up to 6 or 7 figures. And it doesn't happen very often, which is also the reason why those insurances most of the time are not very expensive. But if it does, you better have one. The third one is disability insurance. That means if you cannot go to work for a longer period of time, and it doesn't even have to be a permanent situation, sometimes you can just be temporarily disabled. For example, mental health issues sometimes take a couple of months. Your costs at this time will stay the same. So it's just important to have that covered. Now, these types of insurances will be handled differently in different countries. If the state that you live in already takes care of it, that's great. It's just important that you know who pays in those different scenarios. I feel like insurances are not often covered when it comes to personal finance. And I also know that it can get confusing because there's tons of insurances out there. I mean, insurance is a huge market, and some people are also very suspicious. So the question that I like to ask myself when it comes to insurances is, can this financially ruin me? Let's take, for example, my iPhone. I don't have an insurance for my phone because even though it's expensive, it wouldn't have a significant impact on my financial situation. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm taking really good care of it and I usually use it for several years. But just in case, if something happened to it, I would just get a new one. So it's about weighing the cost of the insurance and the potential benefit for you. If you're someone who breaks their phone all the time, then go for it. And another way to think about insurances for me is that for situations that are already tough, I don't want to add financial problems to that. Question number 2 is, do I have financial goals? Now, research found that when we proactively make a decision, we are more satisfied with our life than if we would just slide through it. So sliding financially, for example, would mean receiving your income, spending it somehow, but not even knowing for what exactly. And to make these decisions more proactive, we can just add financial goals. And this doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as much, the student loan is really draining my energy. I want to get rid of it as fast as I can. Or at least have a plan how I will pay it off. Or, you know, my parents, they had this really nice house that we grew up in. And it was wonderful. I would like to have something like that for my own family and buy a house in X years. Or, man, this colleague of mine just told me she has already that and that much saved for retirement and that she could actually stop working sooner. That sounds awesome. I want that too. Or, I saw this YouTube video from a guy who became a millionaire and now is living this awesome life. I want to become a millionaire. How do I do that? So it's mainly about asking yourself, how do I want to live? And by that, setting the attention for a certain financial goal or several. By the way, I also recommend putting those goals in writing. And question number 3, do I have a financial plan? And that's basically, what can I do or what do I need to set in motion to achieve those goals? You know, I learned a lot of my financial knowledge from Bodo Schäfer, who is a money coach here in Germany. His content is mostly in German German, and at the end of his 20s he was significantly in debt. And to get out of that debt he took a coach, and his coach asked him several questions. And one of those questions was, do you have a financial plan? And he answered, no, I haven't. And then his coach said, yes, you do. Your financial plan is to lose money. It's a poverty plan because you're spending more than you earn. I linked the video of the whole story down in the video description. His content is in German, but I think there are English subtitles. So it's all a question of perspective. And to come back to the examples from the goals, for example, when it comes to the student loan, the question would be, do I have a plan to pay it off? For the house plan, to get the house, do I have a plan to put money aside for it? For the retirement, am I using all retirement options there is from the state and also from the employer? Are there other retirement options that I can look at? And to become the millionaire, what can I do to make this much money? So wherever you're at in life, go through these questions in that particular order. Once you've secured your income, set at least one goal, and probably over time there will be more goals. Then make a plan to achieve this goal and then put it into action. If this action requires you to start saving, I've linked a video for you here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.